idea functionally what I'm doing.
Months until I'm customizing my pussy lips. I'm very excited.
For fucking the giggles.
Yo, you ain't getting a candy bar, bitch.
I have one round left. Just enough for myself.
We're recording.
Wow, speedrun.
Speedrun cast, yeah.
Welcome to the speedrun cast.
It's a cast that has to do fast because of the sass of the mass. I don't know. Okay, here
Because
we
of
go.
my beef.
You really tried that one.
I did. I had a good run for a little bit,
His,
and then
his
it
big
devolved.
corned beef.
Yep,
Corned beef?
my large corned beef. I'd like to say, by the way,
Yeah.
instead of drinking Monster Energy this week, I am drinking alcoholic beverages. So
Is
we'll
it
see how-
Guinness?
No, it's not. It's my Bailey's.
No, okay.
No,
that's
that works.
actually Irish. That's equally as Irish.
Maybe go.
I have some actual Irish buried under all the Italian, you know?
There it is.
I feel like I have to drink on this day of all
Yeah.
days.
We are of the same, except I am not drinking.
What a scrub.
I am. I'm a beta Irish.
Yeah, clearly. I'm the Alpha Chad Irish. Yeah.
The Alpha Chad Irish.
I don't think I'm Irish at all, but I'll drink anyway.
Yeah, do it anyway. Pretend.
I have no green clothing. That's my biggest problem today.
As I sit here in my, I never thought of it this way, but we are like all Italian.
Yep.
Wow. I didn't think of that either until you just said it.
Yeah.
Us here, the four of us, yeah.
Yeah.
We the eye ties.
We have friends who are not, but those of us on this podcast are.
Yeah.
But like Matt's not Italian, right?
I mean, I don't think so, but
I think he told me he's like German or something like that. I'm pretty sure he's not Italian.
BB's British. I know that for sure.
Sean, I don't know what Sean is, but not Italian.
Let's say that. You'll make him mad.
He doesn't listen to this. It's fine.
Yeah.
I actually am British. Besides Italian, I'm British.
I got English. We got English in us, me and Rob.
All right.
We're like a weird 48% split.
Now that we're thoroughly doxxed, even genetically,
Now that we've
Let's-
fucked ourselves over.
yeah. Let's start our weeks. I will go first.
Well, I do. I must say, I love when people do that shit. When they mention their ethnic backgrounds in percentages, and I'm like, do you have that down to a science? You
We
figure that
actually
out.
got a fucking ancestry, didn't we, Rich?
Yeah. Our mother is 98% Italian.
Okay,
so-
well, she took the test,
yeah.
Yeah.
actual thing. Okay.
Something similar on my side. What is it with like moms and fucking ancestry? You know what I just heard? My sister just got an ancestry test for her dog.
Yeah,
That's
those
a
are things. Yeah.
Thing that exists. We've thought about doing it with my dog.
Oh Jesus. Well, I guess okay, that kind of makes sense, but like I don't. Who cares? Who cares? It's you love your dog. Who cares if it was like
It's just cool, like knowing. I don't know, like
Maybe-
exactly what is and shit. Like we know what she is, but I would
maybe
still
they're
kinda
related to like the Taco Bell dog? You could get some residuals.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
You know that dog fucks. Anyway,
That dog's probably fucking dead.
How many Taco Bell dogs have there been?
yeah, that's a better question.
Yeah, that is a good question, actually. Google.
Okay, Google.
It's a recommended Google search. Other people have thought about this.
Oh my god, it's a recommended Google search.
It auto-filled for me.
And
Oh, let's see. Wow, there's a Taco Bell wiki.
oh Jesus. How else are you gonna keep track of all their fantastic menu items?
Oh shit.
Flavored
Oh, I
potatoes
gotta-
back for a limited time. Get your nacho fries. What are they called?
This
I
is
think that's all
totally.
The original Taco Bell dog was a female dog
Damn.
portraying a male dog in the 1997 Taco Bell commercial, where it speaks "Yo quiero Taco Bell."
So, wow, why are these people complaining about transgender representation
Yeah.
all this time? This is getting cut. Holy fuck, that joke's not making it in.
Your humor too transphobic for you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a little much.
Yeah.
We will have people find us.
Look,
Yeah.
this is look,
He's joking, people.
we're gonna start weeks because we're on the speedcast. Remember?
Yeah.
That's
I'm
true.
a-
Now we're talking about
I'm
talking.
gonna-
I don't give a fuck, Richie. Whatever.
No, yeah,
I
you do.
have to walk
Look,
away halfway through
Look,
the news.
listen,
because-
I'm gonna just make one comment. I'm gonna start my week because my
Okay.
week's very short. I'm gonna make
Yeah.
one comment about my beautiful room. I'm gonna upload a picture, man. How's that look? That looks pretty beautiful, doesn't it? I mean, minus like the bed not being made great, but
absolutely fantastic, sir. It looks like a room.
yeah,
With two-
right. Like the
I love
ambiance, right? Like
It's very great. What
it's
amazing
nice.
ambiance.
It's nice.
The lighting is interesting.
Interesting art though.
What's interesting about the lighting, Anthony?
I don't know the way it's framed. It's like very I don't know, dark.
I mean, my like big light is off, and it's just the lamps. That's why. It's
No,
also
it's
night,
neat. But
it's
I'm not shit talking. I'm just observing. Relax.
Oh, don't. I'm shit talking. It's the room of a closeted nerd.
it
That's
is
true.
obviously. Just now picture some modern art right above that headboard, man.
No.
No, that's kind of fucking cute. When
I
you
wanna
resend that
imagine the
Get
fucking
the
wolf.
fuck off the podcast.
some art, I know you don't give a fuck about.
Oh, besides setting up my nightstand and my night, I can't speak, night tables and lamps. My week was very short. I did almost nothing. I will make a confession on cast though.
Mm.
Cool.
To a question Brent asked me, and I completely ignored him. I've been playing AOS on Tabletop Simulator.
No.
Oh. With who?
Randos in a Discord.
Well, now that they've patched in
Okay.
the rules.
That's quite a step to take. How the fuck did this come about, and why are you doing?
I've been looking at Age of Sigmar more. I've mentioned like lore stuff to you previously while playing Valheim, and I've just been looking, and I've been watching like battle reports and shit, and like content creators online, and I came across like people who run like tournaments on Discord and all that shit, and through like Tabletop Simulator. So I joined them, and I've just been like kind of like looking at the Discords, and then finally like, you know what, I'm just going to download the mods and we'll try it out.
Yeah, I've seen you getting on Tabletop
Okay.
Simulator, so that's what
Yeah.
you've been doing. What you think?
I mean, I've only played one game with another person. I like it. It's pretty cool. I don't know. I feel like it's like high lethality. Like shit's always dying, but
That way you have to buy more models.
like I played with a guy who was also like a complete scrub. But
Did you win?
I did lose.
Dang.
You,
Oh well.
you know about this highly viewed podcast? They're gonna hear you say that he's a scrub.
Yeah, probably not. But
Okay.
I lost
Not
because
promoting our sweet podcast.
we random like the battle plan, and it was 3 objective points, and the only people that could cap it was heroes, and I was
Wow,
a
that's
scrub with some
weird.
hero placement, and it just so happened that we were tied by one point. He instant killed my last hero, and with like Archeon, because he has like an instant kill rule, and because AOS does the double turn thing, we rolled for priority the next turn, and he won it, and because of that, he was able just to jump back, get a single point, and I had no heroes to get a point, so he just would win.
Damn.
But if I would have won that roll, I would have been able to win, because I could have kept him tied up off the objective for the next like 2 turns, and I had an extra auxiliary objective over him, which is like if you tie, then you go to auxiliary objectives, which then I would have won. But he won the roll, so
Close game. All right, cool.
I find this very interesting because, like, A, I didn't think you gave enough of a shit about Age of Sigmar to play it like this. I mean, I guess it's easier because there's no like money investment, but it's still kind of shocking to hear that you're doing it. And B, I had seen people doing similar stuff with 40K like not that
Yeah.
long ago. In
Yeah.
fact, I think I had already talked to you about it briefly like a month or two ago. And that was the thing. Like when I saw people doing that, I was like, oh, maybe this would actually be because you just download the mods.
Yeah.
For Tabletop
I
Simulator,
literally
correct?
have like
So,
every army in 3D models. It's
yeah, so like people do that with 40K, so I always thought it would be kind of interesting if we ever wanted to like try it with no investment of money in any way, shape, or form to just download like all the 40K mods and just play it like that.
I'd do that if people wanted to do that. Like I'd be open to doing that.
Yeah, why not?
But still, shocking to hear that you're playing fucking Age
All
of-
right, so I have come to the conclusion.
And you didn't even ask me. You weren't even like, wow, man, you want to get these mods and fucking play
well,
AOS
you know,
or something?
I know you have
with
kind of an
random
aversion
people
to
for-
AOS.
Everyone does, even you.
All right, I am again.
Really not.
This is a confession I'm making live on cast. I'm doing it live. I like Age of Sigmar, like the lore. I think it's turned around, and I think it's fine. It's fun. There's yeah, there's Sigmarines, and I do think they're silly, but I don't know, it works.
I think keyword is turned around.
Because literally the lore when the game first came out was just
Garbage.
it was here was the old world that you know and love, and then here's just Sigmarines and everything else. Like there was no established lore really, and then the rules were like silly.
Yeah, there weren't established rules either for it.
But there's established rules and points costs, and there are problems in the game. It's obviously it's a Games Workshop game. There's balance issues. But for the most part, I feel like it's not terrible in the balance department. And again, back to the lore, I like it. I think now that they worked it out and they put like a story to things, and something AOS does that 40K doesn't. I mean, maybe 40K has done recently, but I'm not a big fan of it. Is they progress the story. So
40K's been
yeah, I'm not a fan of Primaris Marines though.
Well, I'm not a fan of Sigmarines. It's the same problem, isn't it? They progress the plot. There's always one thing that's stupid.
I guess I argue it's different.
And to be completely honest with you, I'd have to read more Age of Sigmar lore to really form my own opinion on it. But everything I've been told about it, I don't really like as much as you seem to. Like when you were telling me about those like Malkavian.
Yeah, flesh eater courts. I'm in love with them.
Yeah, when you tell me, I disagree personally. I don't think they're as cool as you do. I think they're obviously like more comical than the Malkavians that they're knocking off. And I don't know.
See, and this is just a difference in like this is just a difference in, I think, like style. I view it as like again, it's overly comical because when you think about what's actually happening, it's dark as fuck. And I like that versus opposed to probably you just kind of probably like the dark with not so much comedy.
No, that's not it. Because you can have something that's like Malkavians are the perfect example, you know, where like someone can be completely batshit insane as a Malkavian, and like you look at their perspective and it's like, oh, it's weird and it's like mildly comical and there's like a bit of like weird quirkiness to it, and then there's like the darkness of the reality of it. Whereas like the night thing was like, or whatever they're called, was like I see the darkness, but then you cut. It's almost like a hard cut to like complete comedy. Whenever you're telling me about like what they're seeing and experiencing, and I don't know, it just doesn't. I just don't like it as much. I don't hate it either. It might sound like I'm saying I hate it. I don't hate it. I just don't. It's as interesting as you seem to think. Personally. I haven't read a lot of other Age of Sigmar stuff, so maybe there's cool stuff, but everything else I've seen, I'm like, on.
Like, and a big part too of why I've come around to it, and I really dig the art style. Like Games Workshop's always made good models, and the models are always beautiful regardless of game. But there's something about their like art, like in the books, the way it's more fantastical, it's brighter than Warhammer Fantasy. And because of what Age of Sigmar is, it's a lot more like kind of silly in some regards, but that kind of leads to the like high fantasy that it is. And I dig that. I dig it more than actually like maybe more is the wrong word, but I really enjoy it compared to like the art style of Warhammer Fantasy. The less dark, the more colorful, the more out there. I think it's interesting. And you know, again, it's a personal thing. I like it.
Okay. It's very interesting. I have never, literally never ever flipped through the pages of an AOS book, so I don't know what art you're referencing, and I haven't seen any of it. I'm sure I probably would, knowing my own tastes, would probably prefer the 8th edition art. But
one of my favorite pictures is it's in the well, you know, because it's Games Workshop, they have to copyright everything. It's in the Uruk War Clans book, aka Orcs, and it is stupid, but whatever. And it's like a battle scene with, you know, a bunch of like orcs like fighting like lizard men, and you know the model for like the big fucking wyvern jacked up on roids, the Maw Crusher.
No, not offhand. I don't.
I think we've seen the model. I know you've seen the model, but it's a really cool model, and the picture, yeah, and the picture is like that thing literally getting like a carnosaur in its like its shoulder and its mouth and just like lifting it up, and it's so cool. Like I said, it's just it's the colors, it's the style. I like the direction of it.
Yeah, I would have to look at it to cast judgment. I would have to care more to look at it.
Yeah.
That's the other problem.
Those are the
But
main.
Games Workshop the problem with Games Workshop games has never been its art, and it's never been its model lines.
Well, no.
Like they've always made good models, and the art's always been great. I've always enjoyed 40K's art in the Codex.
So
usually
yeah, as
art,
for the rules, I like the rules. I think I used to like hate on the idea of a double turn, but I realize more and more the more I look into it and the more I watch how like an extra layer of strategy that kind of puts, because you have to prep for it. That being said, I have seen games like called because of double turning, because it's like if you get that double turn, you'll just sometimes just win. But I mean, I don't hate on it as much as some people do. I like the extra layer of, all right, well, I can't just throw my combat unit into the middle of his army because I might not win the next turn. So it's an extra layer of strategy.
All right.
And I mean, hey, you want to download some mods? I'll teach you how to play.
I don't know. I'd probably be more interested in. Frankly, I'm not even interested in doing it right now. But if I were going to do that, I would just download the 40K mods probably.
I would do that. I would definitely do that if you wanted to. That being said, I don't think I have any of the newer 40K books, so I'd have to troll the internet.
Boy, I definitely don't either. I would have to definitely not illegally download them.
Yeah, we would have to
Absolutely
purchase
not.
each and every one from the
I don't
Dragon
know the
Board.
40K mods. I know the AOS mods have some of the rules in them.
Oh, I'm sure it exists. Come on.
But that's mainly because, I mean, I haven't looked at 40K in Games Workshop in a while, but that's because like the war scrolls for the individual units are free for AOS.
I wonder if they have Infinity. I'm sure they do.
I think they might, because I've seen pictures of using ninjas or JSS ninjas, but I haven't looked if they had like the full lines.
I'd have to look that up.
Yeah, we'll have to investigate later.
Steam
Anything
Workshop
else?
Infinity the game. The description for this is extraordinarily short, so I don't know what's in this. But it's a thing you can subscribe to that some guy made. Maybe he has all the models. I don't know. Posted March 21st, 2020. updated March 10th of this month. This might have everything in it. I guess that's the thing.
We
I
will
know at
investigate.
AOS, I've had to download like a ton of mods because they're all separate, obviously. I'm going to wrap up my week because that took a little bit longer, and I guess I had to because I had to talk about my new thing.
Yeah.
Besides that, school, work, and my girlfriend's coming up to stay for 3 weeks. So that's
Nice.
going to be a thing. She's coming up next week.
We have to you have to introduce us to her so we can scare her away forever.
Yeah, well, you know, pandemic and all that.
Physical because I'm not leaving my house.
Yeah.
Yeah, that too.
FaceTime.
Bring her on the podcast. That won't shock her.
Yeah, absolutely.
She can't hear me scream about dumb shit and talk about fighting
well,
games.
She's gonna be here for 3 weeks, so there will be a time where she's probably just
podcasts that
sitting in the
she's gonna
room
be in.
hearing me talk to you boys.
Nice. I'll do my week.
Hell yeah.
Not much to talk about. I worked. I played MechWarrior Online.
I did that too.
That game's fun still. It was actually very surprising. It feels like the skill level dropped considerably. Most of the matches go very well. We had or blowouts. I haven't had like an even match yet. It's all been pretty goddamn one-sided. I think there were like there were two that like went back and forth.
I played alone a little bit earlier today, and I had some even matches where my team just got shit on.
But
So
yeah,
like it absolutely.
It's fun. I like it. It was an addiction for a long time. It is an addiction again, and I'm probably gonna play that after we're done with this.
I turned it on to play earlier today, and then realized that the phase 2 of the event that they're doing didn't start yet until like 8, I think, today. So I played for no reason, and I didn't get anything for it.
The phase 2 is all about damage too. It's not match score, so.
Is it really?
Yeah, every
It
100
changed
damage.
the rule.
Yep. So that one will actually probably go faster, depending on the game, which is good. Beyond that, I went shooting with Matt Friday, and
Nice.
that was a good time. I'm probably gonna go shooting with him again Saturday, as well as my coworker.
You ever gonna give me the money for that box ammo?
What was that?
You're giving money for box ammo that he hasn't paid for it.
Oh, okay. No. But that's fine. Whatever. It's fine.
Love you.
Anyway, it's really fun. He got a couple of new guns. He has a Black Aces tactical bullpup shotgun.
Nice.
That destroys your shoulder. There is no room for that recoil to go except right into your joint, and it hurts real good. That thing is fun as hell to shoot. Holy mackerel. Beyond that, he also got a load gate revolver. This thing is like a mad ancient design. And so we were being so obnoxious on the range because every time we were like going to shoot it, we would just be like, the stagecoach is being robbed again, and then we just start rattling off rounds and shit. Oh god. Oh, it was fun. So now I'm also looking at revolvers because Jesus Christ, like I'm not the biggest fan of pistols. I prefer long guns. They're easier to control, they shoot bigger bullets, and they go farther. Like, it's just superior, except for concealability, which I don't give a crap about. But Christ alive, that thing was fun to shoot, and it just fit my hand better. Like, I have not really enjoyed shooting any pistols, and I've shot a couple of different pistols. But yeah, a full-size carry or a revolver is definitely on my list for my next gun. So, that. Also, I bought my rig, so that's gonna be in the mail, and then I will send you pictures of me looking like a psychopath. Look forward to that. That's my week.
Can't wait. I want you to put the picture of you looking like a psychopath in the video for the podcast.
It's probably not going to arrive in time, but I could have gotten it next day, but I
Not
was
for
like,
this
eh.
one. It could be the next.
Okay,
It could be the one after that. I don't care.
yeah, sure, I'll black out my face or something.
Yeah, you just gotta let the people know. You know,
Let
show it
them
off.
know.
Yeah.
I'd rather not, honestly. I'd rather they not know. I'll tell you about it, but I won't show you.
All about it, but no
Imagine.
images
Imagine.
just floating out there on the internet.
All right, my week. I did next to nothing. This week was absolutely wasted. I played my basic same games. I played some League, played some Legends of Runeterra. Played a little bit of Skull. I did revisit because a friend of mine just picked up Mass Effect. He picked up Mass Effect 3 and he's like, there's a multiplayer. I was like, yeah. And I replayed some of the multiplayer of Mass Effect 3. Surprisingly, I enjoyed it a lot playing the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer again.
I mean, that's not surprising. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it back in the day.
Yeah, I really did. It was just shocking how much I still enjoyed it to this day. And I'm like, wait, they're cutting this.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, that's the that's the cherry on top of the.
Yeah, I know. I was just like, oh, I'm
Look
enjoying
at
it, but it's not going to be a thing anymore.
enjoy it too much because it's not like they're fucking bringing it back.
Yeah, exactly. So sad. You can't ever play an alien. The only time you ever played an alien was in that online.
Depending
I
on what
fuck-
you think of the model quality of Andromeda, maybe you played an alien.
Nope. You just played a really fucked up human.
I sincerely hope that in the new Mass Effect that we have not seen anything of yet, that it's more of a Dragon Age style of character creator where I can pick something other than fucking human. I've been talking about this for years with Mass Effect. And I hope it's the fucking case, man. I know it's not going to be. It's just going to be a fucking human character again that you're forced to play. 100%.
They showed that they have the ability to make a bunch of different things with actually their multiplayer. There was the fucking Krogan Warlord. All this shit that they have the capabilities of doing it.
It doesn't even have to be a thing where the races play different though, you know? It's like you have the same class system. Just like a Dragon Age game, like for the most part. You have the same class system, but it's like, oh, I want to play a Krogan. Or I want to play an Asari or whatever. Like, and then have a plot that is written to fit that, regardless of whatever race it is that I want to play. Like,
I know they don't have to, but literally in the multiplayer they gave them special stuff. It's literally
Yeah.
all right there. It's literally already coded and done for them.
but the reason why they do it so that you could only play, I mean, like Shepard was the thing. Like Mass Effect 1 was obviously many, many, many years ago, but like the reason why, like Dragon Age 2 would be a better example of why they shoehorn you into human and shit, is for writing purposes. It's like it's way easier on like writing budget and shit to not have to plan for you to be anything other than just a human. Like you don't need different VA depending on like what race you're playing and like, you know, whatever. There's no like difference in like model size and like gear, maybe like gear modeling and shit like that. It's just a simpler thing to make it so that like you can only play as human. That's why they fucking do it. It's for like plot purposes and like writing purposes and some like modeling stuff. That's why they fucking rest with Dragon Age and did it too. And then they were like,
This
maybe
did
not do
do
that
as
for
well.
Inquisition.
Did not do nearly good as well.
Because you can have a plot that fits that one character, you know? Like it's like when the writing is lazy and they're like, oh, you have to be this character named Hawk. It
Ugh.
must be human because of all this other shit that we wrote into the fucking game story.
Can we pretend Dragon Age 2 didn't happen?
I
No.
pretend it didn't happen on a daily fucking basis, my guy.
We can't pretend.
There was a moment, I don't know if we've ever said this on the podcast. Does anyone care about spoilers for Inquisition
No.
here, right now?
I beat Inquisition. Richie's the only person
I haven't beaten it at
Do you
this
give a
point. I guess not.
Okay, it's a minor thing. There's a moment where Hawk comes back in Inquisition, and then in the story moments right after that, you can choose to essentially, like, quote unquote, sacrifice either Hawk or some other guy. And the other guy is just like some dipshit that gets
Oh, he-
introduced
I think he's
in the
from
game.
DLC and 2.
Is he? Well, I wouldn't know that because fuck two. Was he really? The other
Yeah.
guy?
He was
Are you serious?
Yeah, he was a dude DLC from 2, I'm pretty sure.
Well, let's be real. Even if he is a guy with story significance from the DLC of 2, they obviously, I think, intend for you to give more of a shit about Hawk than
They
that
do.
guy. But the second that fucking choice came up, I was like, fuck it, send Hawk. Instantly. I was like, kill off Hawk. I just want to write Dragon Age 2's plot out of my fucking story. I just want it gone, dude. And I shoved Hawk into that shit as quickly as I possibly could.
I'm not surprised with you.
Yeah, because that game fucking sucks. It's the worst.
It's fair.
And the
I
worst
still
part about
take
it,
Hawk over some fucking DLC character.
no, absolutely not. Kill Hawk. Erase all existence of that game's fucking main plot. Kill them all. Is Dragon Age 2 positively reviewed on Steam? I gotta go look right now. It is. All reviews very positive. 879 of them. Fucking
Ugh.
gross.
But yeah, that was my week overall.
Oh my god, this guy, Steam review. This is my favorite of the 3 current Dragon Age games.
Find
First-
him and kill him.
Deep characterization of your NPCs, the city, and the span of time that the game takes on.
All 5 of our viewers dogpile this man.
What a horrible, horrible opinion. All right, whatever. Was that your week? Did you
Yeah,
say
that
you
was
were
my
done?
week, as I just said. That was my week.
Cool. Here comes my week. My week is also similarly short to the 3 that came before it. I did a lot of the same shit as usual. I became a little more productive in this last week, but I don't really care to talk about that until I'm like done with what I've been working on. But that's nice. I've actually been doing shit other than just wasting my time and playing video games. I played a lot of MWO. We spoke about that already briefly, so who gives a fuck? I played a shitload of Loop Hero, like a lot of Loop Hero.
I heard that's very grindy.
Kind of a little bit, but it's very fun. It's a grind that I don't really mind because I enjoy turning it on and just like wasting a bit of time doing a few runs. To be quite frank, I don't really care to give it like an extremely intense fucking review. On Brandon's scale of thumbs, I give it 2 thumbs up. I think the game is fucking phenomenal. If you like roguelites or roguelikes, it's a very good game that I enjoy. I kind of wish it had a little more content in it because I've put 30 something hours into it.
Damn.
And I feel like I've seen most of what it has to offer me. I just need to complete it. So there's like a boss or 2 that I have not seen because I don't actually know how many quote unquote chapters the game actually has. I think I'm on the last one, but I could be wrong. So for the most part, I've seen pretty much everything the game has to offer me. Like I got the achievement last night for seeing like all the tiles in the game, so that kind of clues me into the fact that I've pretty much seen most of what's going on. But the game is fantastic. I really like it a lot, and I highly recommend it. 2 thumbs up on Brandon's scale of thumbs. What else did I do? Oh, this is the fun part of my week. Would you guys like a small story from
Yes.
mildly buzzed Brandon? Are you excited for my tale?
Absolutely.
Extraordinarily.
All right, cool. So earlier this week, and Anthony might already kind of know what I'm going to talk about, maybe on So we're recording this on Wednesday. Starting on last Friday, I had a small, just a teensy weensy bit of a Rona scare. Just a
Oh,
little,
yeah.
Wow.
just a mild one, because I woke up on Friday and I had a sore throat, and I was like, that's interesting. Maybe it's just a little bit of sickness. All right. Spoilers for or not spoiler, warning for anyone at home who's listening, or my two friends here who are currently sitting in their chair. This is going to get slightly graphic and involve my bowel movements,
Okay.
just so you're aware. Okay, so moving forward, I wake up Saturday. I'm a little bit worse. I have a sore throat. I have a headache now, and I'm like, this is kind of scary. Sunday, I wake up and I'm like, even worse. Like my sore throat hurts a little bit more, and my head hurts a little bit more. And I think I played MWO with you and BB that night, and I don't know if you realized, but I was like a little less talkative than usual because I was kind of feeling a little shitty. You guys left, and here's where the graphic nature of my story comes in. You guys left, and I'm sitting here, and I played Loop Hero until like 3 a.m. that night, and I'm about to go to bed. And I'm sitting here in my chair where I am right now at like 3 o'clock in the morning, right? And this was the moment. So before this, I was like, maybe I'm just normal sick. This might not be the Rona, right? I'm like, whatever. I probably just have a little head cold or something, like headache, sore throat. Can't just immediately jump to I got the Rona, especially because I never leave my fucking house or anything.
Right.
Like, I don't know how I got this. I don't even remember the last time I could have gotten it. So I'm like, maybe it's not the Rona. So I'm sitting here at like 3 a.m. playing Loop Hero, and I'm sitting here and I'm having fun. I'm having a great time. And all of a sudden, listen, if there's any ladies listening to this, this is normal, right? Okay. I like to fart sometimes. Okay. Don't judge me.
I
Right?
love where this is going.
Okay. So I'm sitting here and I'm by my lonesome. There's no one else in the room, and there's some gas coming my way, right? So obviously I'm going to let it fly. It's a fart, right? I know you guys fart. I've been in the room with you and you fart. We all fart, right? So here comes the fart. And I'm like, this is just a normal fart. It's just a normal fart, right? So it leaves my anus. And you know the moment you fart and you know something's wrong? like the second it leaves your ass, there's an instant where you're like, that was not a normal fart. And it was the moment I farted, it was like a warm bubble from between my cheeks.
Oh no!
And I was like, oh, that's not good. And I stood up and I was like, yup, there's shit in my pants.
Oh no!
That was the moment. So then I run to the bathroom, right? And I'm
Oh.
like, fuck. There's shit in my pants, and I sit down and I start taking a dump, and it's like it's not a good dump, right? And I'll spare everyone the details from here on out, but I'll just say that was the moment where I was like, maybe this is Rona, because it has been a very, very long time since I've had to fart with no prior warning signs at all that there was going to be shit in that fart. You know what I mean? Like I didn't feel a rumble in my tummy. I didn't feel like pain. There was like nothing in my ass to tell me that I was about to shit myself. It was just a fart. For all intents and purposes, it just felt like a fart. And then the moment it left my ass, it was shit. With no warning. And right there, I was like, headache, sore throat. Now I'm shitting my pants with literally 0 red flags. Maybe I have the Rona. But fast forward to today, and I'm actually feeling completely fine. Like I still have a mild headache, but it's extraordinarily mild, and my sore throat is basically completely gone. So I don't think I have the Rona, unless in like 2 days from now I can't breathe or something because like I'm just having a dip in my symptoms or some shit. I think I'm okay.
I
But
don't
that's
know
the
if
story of me
exploding
legitimately
ass.
believing for at least one night that I may have had Rona and me shitting my pants.
I'm not sure if exploding ass is
Nice.
actually a symptom.
I looked them up. Apparently, yes, it is. Like, I had everything. So, I mean, like, everything is in, like, all 3 of my symptoms were apparently early, like, warning signs of Rona.
Can
Like,
you
if you have
still
headaches.
taste things?
What?
Can you still taste things?
I can. That was the other thing, too. So, like, at no point in those days that I feel like was having, like, difficulty breathing. I didn't have any, like, lung area pain or discomfort. I could taste everything. I didn't have any of those. It was just headache, sore throat, and then a fart that randomly became shit in my pants.
I
And
think,
that was it.
yeah, so you're good, I would say.
I believe I'm good, especially because like all of that's pretty much gone at this point, so I feel like I'm okay. So like I said, unless in like a couple days from now that shit flares up again and I can't fucking breathe or whatever, which I highly doubt is going to be the case, I think I'm through it all. But the shit in my pants with no warning was I was honestly nervous. Like right there in that moment, I'm sitting on the toilet and I'm like, I haven't shit my pants since like fucking middle school, dude. I don't know, like this might be Rona. And I've never had a fart with no early warning of poop. I legitimately believed in that moment, sitting in my bathroom, that I may have had the corona,
That's
but I don't think I do.
fantastic. Thank you for sharing that experience with us.
You're welcome. I was thinking to myself too on the toilet as I was sitting there. I
I'm
was like, "Do I
sorry you
tell
had to
this?"
go through that.
Thank you. As I was sitting on the toilet, I was thinking to myself, I was like, "Do I tell the story to all 5 of our viewers of me shitting my pants? Is that something that I should do?" And I was like, "Fuck it, yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely, I'm gonna tell the story of me shitting my pants."
Beautiful.
That was my week, pretty much. I played Loop Hero.
Little side note to pants shitting. I think I actually do have most of the 40K books.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
That was fast.
No, it was I think I had them. I don't know why,
I probably grabbed them forever ago.
but like I'm staring at some of them, and I'm on Games Workshop just looking at the codexes, and there's only a few that don't match up, like cover wise.
There you go.
So
Cool beans. Well, if I ever actually feel like playing 40K, I guess we have books.
So now,
Legally obtained books.
totally legally.
Legally.
I bought all these,
Legally.
but I threw out the receipts, so don't check.
Richie has poor impulse control with his money.
Legally.
It's
You
with
bought
a
it.
deactivated credit card. Actually, bitcoins, so you can't even. You
Yeah.
have no idea.
I bought them all with less than a fraction of a Bitcoin.
If you got all those books like a while ago, though, some of them have to be out of date, right?
I mean,
like new
the covers
nids and
the covers match up.
yeah, but
so-
new like Dark Eldar are getting a new book very soon, and I saw them
Yes.
promoting a new Dark Angels book that's
Yeah,
coming out. Like
the ones I know I don't have are, I think, well, when it comes out, the Dark Eldar, the Death Guard are out of date as well, and Death Watch are out of date, and I think maybe
oh my god,
Space Wolves
I forgot that like Death Guard are their own
Krons.
army now.
and Krons are out of date, but everything else looks okay.
Just like furthering the clusterfuck of
More
40K.
Space Marines.
Yes, 40K Space Marine variant armies. Just get more of them in there. Fuck it, we'll do it for Chaos now too.
More Space Marines.
So I have some of the rules. Nids look up to date.
Let's go. News.
Yes,
Okay,
on
first.
news. I have an hour and 10 minutes.
We
got
can do
this. We got this.
Let's go.
Maybe.
Speed run.
So, first bit of news. Twitch turns out to have a brand safety score that is secret.
I didn't read about this. I just saw you post about it.
So it's in
Inform me.
Twitch's API, which is basically their algorithm that feeds people viewers. So the score accounts for a streamer's age, their ban history, their status as an affiliate partner with Twitch, auto moderation settings, the ESRB rating of the game they're playing, and whether the stream is set to mature. This all impacts the score, which of course impacts ads and eyes being focused to your stream. So,
Interesting.
yeah.
Is
Subtly,
speculation that this score could be used for or against streamers when they look to earn sponsorships, get advertisement money, or collect what? Or collect bounties. But that has not yet been confirmed by Twitch.
oh, you haven't heard of
It doesn't
bounties?
say anything. No?
Bounties are hysterical. They're exactly what they are. It's like, you know, it's like say Doritos, and then you fill the bounty out, and then they pay you money.
Oh, nice.
Um,
I don't know about that.
but yeah, it's to me, and this is because I'm cynical and I hate Twitch. It's like, hey, what counts? What about this will always trend upwards? Just chatting. You don't have to worry about a strong ESRB. The streamer is of age. The chat is moderated. Get them, get them money. Why risk playing a mature game when you can just talk in a microphone?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, at the moment, this sounds like it's very experimental because it's the article you linked specifically states that this is essentially not being used for anything yet. It's just like a background system that
Currently,
they're
yeah.
not actually utilizing. It's definitely interesting and like mildly gross, but they're also not using it. So I don't know. Hard for me to have an opinion on it. As a ghost system that they're not actually utilizing, yeah, it's kind of gross, but they're also not using it. So who knows if they will. I find the little factoid here in the article, the score accounts for a streamer's age, whether they're over 18 or over 21. Which one do you think is worse for the
That's a
brand safety score?
that's a good question. I want to say the older you are, the safer it is, but
That's what I would
for
think too.
something like Twitch, it might be better that you're in that like younger age gap, you know? Because it's like a video game thing. There's no risk of alcohol popping up or being discussed if you're under
Yeah,
21. It's hard to say.
I'm going to assume that since it's brand safety score is literally what it's called, I'm going to assume, perhaps wrongly, that being over 21 is actually better for it because in their business minds, they're probably like, oh, a more mature individual will be like less likely to say or do something that like an advertising kind of like in an ad situation would, not want someone to say or do when it comes to running ads on their content, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Higher risk of someone who's younger doing something stupid. You know what I mean? I'm just thinking like a suit at Twitch. Like that's probably how it works. But who
As,
knows?
so long as they're legal, says the suit at Twitch.
As long as they're legal.
Well, I think
Completely pointless. It's not doing anything yet. So
let's hope it stays like that.
it probably.
It won't. Yeah. Next bit of news. Halo Infinite will have no dual wielding or playable
Oh
elites.
yeah, I want to talk about this one.
Yeah,
I'm
this is
excited to
interesting.
talk
Bad.
about this one.
I miss the elites.
Me too. So Brandon pointed out very correctly. As a matter of fact, I'll just let him say it.
Oh well, I'm of the opinion that this is kind of like. So okay, two things that are worth pointing out here. Because you and me and Richie had like a mild text conversation about this, I
Mhm.
believe, the Camelcast thing, and I don't remember exactly what you guys said, but I'd essentially pointed out that, or I think you had said something along the lines of it was like a step backwards in mechanics. I'm kind of the opinion that you can say that it is because it's like, yeah, it sucks that dual wielding and elites aren't there. But I also think to myself, like, dual wielding and elites haven't been there since like Halo 3 and Reach, respectively. Like Halo 3 was the last game with dual wielding and Reach was the last one with elites, I believe only in a specific game mode. Did Reach have elites in it as well? Um, so you combine that with the fact that we saw gameplay of Infinite not too long ago, where they didn't showcase dual wielding or any multiplayer stuff with playable elites, and they haven't talked about that in any way, shape, or form since that. And to me, I'm like, well, none of the 343 games had dual wielding. None of them had elites. It's not shocking to me that this game doesn't have it. In fact, I just assumed that it wouldn't, to be completely honest.
Yeah, I was unaware of that fact because I mean the last one I played was Reach. I've never owned an Xbox,
Yeah.
and when people talk about 4 and 5, they're complaining about all the other things they can't get around to. Also, they took away dual wielding.
Yeah.
They're too busy
Well,
complaining about everything
that was
else.
something that was something I pointed out in our conversation was that technically 343 aren't even the ones that rolled that back. It was Bungie themselves because Reach was the last Bungie developed Halo game. It did not have dual wielding in it. They themselves took that shit out long before it was in the hands of 343. So like we haven't had dual wielding since back when Bungie was still making these fucking games. So it's like, do I wish that 343 had the fucking gonads to like implement dual wielding and put it into something like Halo Infinite? Sure. Do I hate that it's not there? Not really, nor am I like surprised. Also, I would like to speak as someone who played a absolute fucking shit ton of Halo 3 multiplayer, that elites in Halo 3 were always kind of point of contention for people, myself included, because they were cool, but they were also a competitive issue because we're talking about a difference in hitbox depending on what you were playing. So you could like round a corner and come face to face with a guy and have like a 1v1 like battle rifle standoff. And if a dude's playing an elite, his head hitbox is nowhere near where yours is, and you have to adjust for that like on the fly. So people were always kind of like on elites and competitive game modes in Halo 3. So like I don't hate that they're not there. The dual wielding is a point that I understand more, but Bungie themselves rolled that shit back like ages ago. So I never expected it.
I'm still up against these type of changes because yeah, even if they may have done it before or whatnot, it's
It's not a
like,
change. That's the thing.
well,
You can't say
that's
change,
what
it's
I'm
not a change.
saying. But they could have easily re-included it too. That's what makes it kind of a change, and especially from my warped perspective, in that like I have a big old gap of knowledge.
I feel like, all right, this is the next Halo game. Supposedly it's getting supported for like the next 10 years.
Okay, for the next 10 fucking years.
And
They're gonna patch in
I'm
poorly.
seeing like the only thing they're like the only thing different about this Halo game from all the other Halo games is a grapple hook, and you could punch a guy off a Halo ring. And I'm like, oh, cool. So this is the next generation Halo game. And like, you didn't blow me away with your story in the last ones, and your graphics look fucking like worse than fucking Halo fucking 4. So like, I don't know. It's just I'm already in a bad spot with like this game. I think it's gonna fucking blow, and nothing coming out is just when they say they're not gonna add new features to their already not having new features. I don't know. It just rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah, I would like to point out, I would just like to be very specific here and clear that I agree with you in the fact that I am not, like, I think I've already been on record about this with you on recording, that, like, I'm also not excited about this game, and I'm also not wowed by anything that they've showed off. So I don't want anybody to, like, misconstrue what I'm saying as, like, me ardently defending fucking Halo Infinite, 'cause I'm absolutely not. But I'm just saying that like I wasn't blown. Like I read the headline of this article and I was like, yeah, of course. Like dual wielding's not there. I didn't read it and I was like, fuck, man, dual wielding's not there. I read it and I was like, yeah, that makes sense. Like 343 hasn't had it in a single fucking game. We didn't see it in the gameplay demonstration. Of course it's not fucking there, dude. They would have showed that shit off instantly. Like it's almost like non-news to me, where I was like, yeah, clearly dual wielding's not going to be in this fucking game.
They could have,
And I'm just as
I think, won
unexcited for
people
it as I was.
back though. I don't know, because that definitely would have drawn more people in, saying, "Hey, we have this," as opposed to, "Hey, we're definitely not going to have this." But then again, if you get
Now what
into
if
sweaty,
in the next like 2 years we're talking about a nice big fat elite DLC or a Kimbo gun DLC?
oh, I'm
They can
sure the elite
absolutely
thing
do.
is going to happen.
Oh, I can
The
see the elite
gun
DLC.
one, not so much. The elite one, I could see happening.
I'd also
Yeah.
like to point out, you know what else was kind of revealing about that article? I think it was either it was that article or it was something else that I read where it was like they basically hard confirmed that this game has like an open-ended gameplay style to it.
Right.
Did you catch that in the article where they essentially kind of confirmed that it's like pseudo open world? I don't know if it was this one or if it was a different one that we didn't talk about, but he was talking about like day-night cycle, someone from 343, and how like, oh yeah, dude, it'll be different if you like go out into the world and you like assault a Covenant base at night because like some of the grunts will be asleep and like it'll change the way you approach it and shit. And in that fucking moment, I was like, oh my God,
Ubisoft.
game is what I thought it was going to be. It's like the campaign is going to be like a like pseudo open world like Halo game. That's what this is. I remember way back when they first showed off the Infinite trailer and it was just CGI, and you and me talked about it, Richie, and I was like, these fucking like herds of rhinos that they're showing in an open field give me like Far Cry vibes. I'm looking at this and I'm like, what are they trying to tell me? Is this gonna be like an open world fucking Halo game?
Yeah.
Pretty much fucking hard confirm that shit. Like that is kind of what this is. It's
Yeah.
interesting. I mean, like, I'm not excited about this game. We've been on record as saying that before, but like the fact that it's like, I don't know, the fact that they're selling it as like a weird pseudo open world Halo game and being like, oh, you can punch people off the ring, but then being like dual wielding's not in the game is not shocking to me.
I feel
In the
like
fucking
that's gonna be awful. Like now that I'm thinking about it for more than 2 seconds, is like, because even in the opening trailer, it's like we have, or the gameplay teaser that they showed, it's like, oh, I have to disable the AA so we could do something, and now you could literally just stand out there for days, not
well,
doing that.
okay, we don't know how that's actually going to work. I'm assuming from what he said that it's going to be like, and I could be completely wrong, but it sounds like what they're pitching is open world, but with like moments of story moments that you've come to like know
But
from a
what
Halo
I'm
game.
what I'm trying to say with that is that, like, will there be time constraints on these objectives, or will there not be? And then there's an extreme gameplay and story segregation where it's like, oh no, he's gonna activate the bomb, and then you could dick around for literally in-game days.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know, that
I'm
could be a
assuming
problem.
like it could be, yeah. I'm assuming that what we saw in that gameplay demonstration, like when he's being told to do certain things and getting these waypoints on the fly and it looks a little more linear, that's like a hard story moment where it's like you're in the open world, but then you go to a place that's like do story mission now. But everything in between it is like you can kind of wander and just do shit, you know? Like your
Hopefully, I think
average
that would
open
be the
world
best
game. You
way to
have
work
it,
it.
you get hard locked into content.
Mm.
What do you
I've
say?
never really played open world games, so I will take your word for it. I would hope that it works that way because otherwise, yeah, it could be leading
I
to
mean, don't take my word for it. I'm
more
fucking
problems.
speculating. I'm speculating based on trailers and dog shit information that they've given in articles that you have to fucking glean facts from on the fly. So who knows? Moral of the story is though I'm not any more excited for this game than I was before. Or less excited. I'm very neutral. I'm sure that this game, quote me on this, I'm sure that this game is going to be okay. I don't think this game's going to be bad, but I think it's going to be like 4 and 5 before it, where it's like, all right, it's another Halo game. Like they're not really iterating on the concept. They're not doing anything insane. It's another Halo game with like a mild open world bent to it and a story that's either going to be serviceable or dog shit, depending on whether or not it's more like 4 or 5.
I think the only thing that could possibly save it is if they're like, yeah, we're doing Forge again. But up until that point, it's like, God, I sleep.
Didn't one of the 2343 games have Forge?
You'd know that better than me.
Was it 4? I could have swore one of them had Forge. I could be wrong. It's been ages since I played either of them, to be honest. So
On to the next bit of news is
yeah, Halo 4 had Forge. I don't know if 5 did, but a quick Google told me that before
There you
you move on.
more talent leaves Sony Interactive Entertainment this time. I mean, the last one was a big name too, but this one, worrying. Masami Yamamoto, who was the executive producer of Goddamn Bloodborne and other cool shit like Soul Sacrifice, bye bye. He's gone. He left the company.
Yeah, I mean the guy. We didn't talk about it on the podcast, but a guy left whose name I do not recall off the top of my head. a guy left in February who
Oh,
was.
and we talked about the guys leaving to make their own studio. The guy who was behind Gravity Rush and stuff.
Yes, we talked about that, but we didn't talk about there was a different guy who left who was also involved in Bloodborne in some way, shape, or form, who left in like February. I remember seeing people talk about it in a Twitch chat actually, like a month ago. Um, but I don't think we talked about it on the podcast. So like this has been happening. This is a thing.
Yeah, what the hell?
Leak talent.
Like good talent, and Sony Interactive Entertainment Japan has put out some goddamn games. Pretty much like the main Sony exclusives of note has been put out of them, and they're just losing people left and right, and it's
Yeah.
very concerning.
True.
Is that studio dead, or are they just leaking people?
They're leaking people. I know that they've been downsizing it like for a bit now.
That's very interesting. I wonder how that will affect Sony exclusives for the foreseeable future.
At least in Japan, for sure. I mean, West buys some of that shit too, but I don't know. I think they're chasing the money a little too much. I think
Oh, I mean, it absolutely affects the Western market. Bloodborne was huge over here.
oh, arguable. So it's like
Not arguable.
no, seriously, this is when we get into the annoying thing where it's like, yeah, compare the sales of Bloodborne, which was a fantastic exclusive system seller. Some people say the only game the PlayStation 4 has, and it got absolutely crushed by FIFA in like every region.
You can't. Yeah, but that's not a fair comparison.
But I
Of
mean,
course,
if you're a shitty suit exec, you know,
yes.
sometimes that's what they look at, and
I
that's
I completely understand what you're saying because this has been a thing in the past with other studios. Like I remember when fuck, was it Square, I think, with like Tomb Raider, like the first Tomb Raider, when they were like, oh, it didn't meet sales expectations, but meanwhile it sold like millions of copies and
uh,
was absolutely profitable, but they were like, oh, it didn't meet sales expectations. Like you hear stories like that all the fucking time. So I understand what you're saying. It's still not a fair comparison though, because
yeah,
Bloodborne is never gonna outsell some shit like FIFA.
poor fucking Dead Space, man. That's what that makes me think of is like they
Is that a
butchered
thing with Dead Space?
yeah, dude, they butchered Dead Space 3 to appeal to a wider audience, which is why it's like all the gunplay and the limb removal was like removed
Well,
from the
yeah,
game.
obviously.
And then it made like something like 3 million sales, but the goal was like 5 million units just for the series to stay alive, which is insane.
Yeah.
Like I don't even think the first Dead Space moved 5 million, and then they wanted this like soulless version of it to ugh. Fuck EA, whatever. But yeah, so hopefully I don't know why you wouldn't want to hold on to these people or even just like nurture that studio that is putting out exclusives that are being bought, and sure it's not making like super gangbusters numbers, but I bet you fucking Bloodborne sold more than Days Gone.
Don't don't Google that.
I don't want to.
Don't Google that. Don't do it.
I'm googling it.
You might be disappointed.
I already am.
Don't do it. Wow, in North America, Days Gone was the second best-selling video game software for the month of April behind Mortal Kombat 11. And MK sells like fucking crazy.
It was the
It was
seventh
second.
most.
What'd you say?
It sold much better than it within like the opening window, which generally means over a lifetime. Days Gone did like 300K in 6 months, where Bloodborne did a million. So I
Well,
think Bloodborne
Days
saved.
Gone is also didn't Days Gone have a lot of negative press when it first came out? Like I
Yes.
remember kind of middling for it.
Yes.
So yeah. And people know FromSoft, so I mean, but yeah, so, certain comparisons are not fair. Like
Well, oh
Bloodborne,
yeah, I specifically
shit,
picked that
like-
because like as far as like PlayStation exclusives go, Days Gone is very low on the totem pole. I could have gone with like the shitty not Super Smash Brothers that they did, but
here's
that's
the
probably worse.
here's the question: is all this talent leaking from their Japan studio? Does it mean no Bloodborne 2 for the foreseeable future? And does it mean that you'll only get shit from more Western developers as exclusives, such as Horizon or God of War for the
I
foreseeable?
would imagine. Now that's a game that definitely probably kicked Bloodborne's ass. Is God of War,
Probably.
maybe even Horizon.
Potentially. God of War, I'd be willing to believe, outsold Bloodborne.
God War was such a good game.
Yeah, I mean it was a good game, but fuck, man, I don't
But
know.
Bloodborne, though. Just put
More
fuck Bloodborne
Bloodborne.
on PC, please. God damn it. What the
Moral of
fuck?
the story. Moral of the story there.
What the fuck, man?
Next news story is Apex Legends crossplay on Nintendo Switch. Don't fucking do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, it's really funny. It's actually horrendous. Did anybody actually click on those links that
I
I put?
did.
No.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
It's something that I hadn't even considered. So, like, when you go from crossplay PC to console, there's already some problems. Mouse aiming versus, controllers limited, sensitivity, blah, 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 blah,
Believe it or
blah.
not, it's actually, sorry, not to cut you off, but believe it or not, it's actually been, hold your thought, but it's actually been a point of contention in communities for like Apex and shit that like controller aim is almost unfair against PC players. I never thought I'd see the day that this would happen, but people have been complaining for ages now that like auto aim on controller players on a PC version of a game is unfair.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
It's
So,
actually the reverse of what you would think.
well, I think it's a bit of both because it's like a console player cannot 360, like, or 180. Like, if you're hit from behind as a console player, you're fucked. There's no way your turning speed is going to be fast enough. And
Yeah.
vice versa, if you get a beat on someone, you don't even have to touch the controller. It's going to aim for you. So there are definitely differences. But this is one I hadn't considered, where the Switch is a much lower resolution and lower frame rate than even other like Xbox type stuff. And because of that, like you can't it doesn't render some people that you can
So
see in the
so
other versions.
the guy in the Reddit thread is the best, where he's like, look at these two screenshots. Here's the Switch version. You can't see this player model at this distance. Here's the PC version. It's rendered and it looks great. And like the cherry on top is the fact that if you buy this game, or not buy, but if you play this game on Switch, it, I believe, has crossplay turned on by default.
Yes, it's
So
defaults to crossplay on.
yeah, so if you go in mindlessly and you're just like, oh, I want to play some fucking Apex, man. I've heard this game's pretty good, and you have no fucking idea what you're signing up for, you're getting tossed into lobbies with people who just have an advantage, like a visual advantage from the jump. And you might not even know that, and you just get absolutely shit on.
By
Because for
someone
some
you
reason you
literally
put crossplay
can't
on by,
see.
yeah. It's
I
really
I'd
fucking.
never even considered that. It wasn't even a thought in my head. I guess, but you could argue that that also probably happens to like other PC players versus regular PC players. Like if you're running it on a toaster, like
Yeah. Yeah.
they make these games kind of like simplistic so anyone could run it because you get a bigger install base. But this isn't like a MOBA where it's like you don't need the resolution. Something like this where frames and stuff like that fucking matters. It's very I hadn't even thought of it.
I think the biggest point to walk away from this with is just don't put, if you're gonna port the game to a platform that can't handle it at certain resolutions that other platforms can, just don't enable crossplay by default.
Right. Or if you
Why would
do,
you do
like,
that?
yeah, nuke the textures more, nuke the resolution more, but at least keep the draw distance up or something. You gotta make sure that level, like the furthest a PC player can see, make sure that the worst system can also see that same distance.
I bet that's a technical limitation. If
At
you have,
least on resolution, yeah. Because I mean,
yeah,
when you look at that, it's mostly because of jumbled pixels. It's not a lack of rendering. It's that the guy looks like a rock because he's like 3 pixels wide and
yeah,
like crooked, whereas on the computer you can see a silhouette.
it's very bad. and I don't see a way to fix that necessarily in a port such as that. So just give people the option of turning crossplay on. Like, hey man, I like dude wants to play with his friend on PC and he owns it on Switch. Cool. He flicks that little toggle and then he can play with him. But by default, don't like let people unknowingly go into like PC player lobbies and just get absolutely shit on in your Switch port. Like, use two brain cells. I don't get it.
We're in a wild. Well, this is just a weird time for shit like that because everything wants crossplay and connectivity, and I mean those are good things, but there's also like never been the weird power gap that it is, where it's like, or even that it's like one game is on so many fucking consoles. How do you think the Stadia guys are doing? Is Apex on Stadia? Does Stadia even exist anymore?
I don't think it does. Didn't Stadia die? I don't even know if we talked about it.
No, I think we forgot to talk about that.
Did
But
Stadia die?
Had it. I think it did. I could be wrong.
I mean,
Hold
it
on, I'm
still has a
Googling.
website. No, I think it still exists
Really?
for now.
All right. I thought I'd heard a story on some other podcast I listened to that it had died. I guess not. All right. Cool bean. But like, yeah, the power gap between platforms as crossplay becomes more and more of a thing is something you have to really take into account. Something that's interesting. I don't know if you heard about this, and I don't remember what. I don't remember what game it is. It might have been an SNK game. I don't think it was Sam Show. I don't remember if they were talking about Sam Show or if they were talking about the upcoming KOF game. I don't recall. But and it might not have even been SNK. I might be completely wrong. But some fighting game is planning on implementing the ability to play at 120 frames per second instead of 60. And there are people, myself included, who are like, that's not a good idea because now we're talking about a fighting game that has like, depending on the game, has like frame perfect shit and, you know, combo execution and things that the what you're perceiving based on your frame rate like can really affect gameplay in a really tangible way. Is that like the future? Are we going to get fighting games that run at 120 frames per second where like someone with a 120 hertz or higher monitor just has an advantage in a fighting game? Like,
Well, I think
or
that
playing on a platform
depends.
with crossplay that can do that, but another platform can't? Like,
That I think can be stymied just by putting like frame links and like links to animation where it's like it doesn't matter how good your refresh rate is if you have to wait so many frames before you could do your next input, then you're locked to that, not so much the refresh rate. But
when is a 120 frames per second? Like, regardless of any of that, a 120 frames per second fighting game will just be smoother.
oh yeah,
You'll have a little more time to do inputs and shit, like to really perceive what's going on, as opposed to someone who's playing at 60. You know what I mean? Like, it is an advantage, competitively speaking. It's slight, but it is an advantage. So like, it's interesting. I'm a huge proponent for crossplay. I think crossplay should be in like fucking everything, especially fighting games because of their smaller communities. Um, but it brings up some really interesting questions when we start talking about the technical
you know
limitations of
it's
the
the
platform.
worst way to do that is that you're the lowest common denominator settings. So like you match with something and then suddenly your frames are locked and your resolution's locked to whatever you're playing against. You ain't got a
Randomly
choice.
dunked down to 60
Yeah.
against some guy on Switch or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, that's rough.
That'd be very fair, but that would suck. That would suck a lot.
Yeah.
I'd rather just people accept that it's not always going to be fair than
That would be
live
jarring
with that.
the other way
Oh
too.
yeah.
So like imagine that you've been sitting in training for like 5 hours, just like labbing shit, like figuring out
And then the
combos.
frames are different.
Yeah, and you've been labbing it at like 120, and
Yeah.
then you get tanked to 60, and you're like, oh shit. like my training time. Still applicable, but it feels different.
Yeah. Moving on. Schneider Justice League is a new movie. Also Halo.
Also,
Did you read? Please tell me you read this
I
article.
did not.
Are you fucking serious? You didn't read this article?
I'm sorry.
Oh my
I read the
god.
title.
Anyone read
It's in my
this?
brain.
Did Richie, the Zack Snyder lover, read this article? Did you read this?
No, I mean I saw it. I didn't read it.
Fuck,
Why?
Jesus Christ, guys. Come on. All
Well,
right.
okay, do it.
All right. This is absolutely hilarious. So, essentially, Deathstroke. Here we go. Hold on. Someone posted a close-up look at Deathstroke's suit in the movie, which is seemingly on display in Dallas, Texas. Whatever. The Twitter user noted an emblem on the back of Deathstroke's sword and was taken as a reference to Ra's al Ghul and his League of Assassins. The apparent blah blah blah. The emblem on the sword has nothing to do with Ra's al Ghul or the League of Assassins. It is a modified version of an emblem from Halo.
Oh my god, I see it now.
Because
Holy shit.
apparently someone out there did some fanfic shit on some wiki somewhere where they used a modified version of an emblem from Halo that I'm fully familiar with. I actually recognize this from when I used to play a lot of Halo. And I guess when you Google search it, one of the top results is this.
That's so fucking funny.
that's
So
hilarious.
hilariously, someone working on the fucking Schneider cut doing costume design for Deathstroke,
Googled
guess-
Ra's al Ghul symbol.
yes, and found this. Yeah, fucking sword. So now Deathstroke in the Snyder cut has a fucking Halo emblem on his sword. It has nothing to do with what they thought it has to do with, and it's absolutely hilarious, and I love it.
That's
I mean,
hilarious.
whatever.
I mean, it's
No, it's
shows
funny.
They'll
shows
just-
love
they'll
and
just-
care for their work.
No, they'll just CGI it out like a mustache. It's fine.
But now they fucking will. I mean, have you heard the shit about like how apparently like early screenings have happened for this movie, and apparently like the "We Live in a Society" line isn't in the movie.
They can't have it in the movie. Are you kidding
It's not.
me?
Are you fucking kidding me? They can't have it in the movie? That is fucking false advertising, Anthony. They put meme bait in the fucking trailer to get you hype. Because they were like, oh, here's Jared Leto's Joker. Wouldn't it be so fucking funny if he says, we live in a society? And then they don't have the fucking balls to keep it in the movie? That's some coward shit, dude. That's legitimate cowardice.
My
You had
fucking ears, Brandon.
Zack Snyder, you had the fucking balls to date people with motherfucking we live in a society, and then you can't fucking leave it in your movie? That's cowardice, dude. That is cowardice.
But in exchange, he goes, I guess this really is the Justice League's Zack Snyder cut.
Cowardice,
And then he throws a fat rat at you.
Fucking cowardice, bro. Or it's like he was so upset by everyone making fun of the fact that he put fucking "We Live in a Society" in the script for his fucking shitty Schneider cut, and then was so perturbed by people's reactions that he cut it out before it made a fucking actual release.
It's okay. It'll be back in when they do the series. It's fine.
That's true, yeah.
They
the
can
series
weave it
is
in and
coming.
out
Oh, Jesus.
through 800 versions. It's fine.
Was to that point, I am excited. I think I've stated that before, especially because I've heard a lot of positive things from early reviews saying that it's like a completely different movie and like revitalizes the franchise. So
Positive things from people with a DC bias, most likely.
Also,
I mean, like,
let's
all
be
right,
really
let's
fair.
get
It
like
needs
the
to.
bar was low,
Yeah.
but still, I am excited because most things I've seen from it, like I have enjoyed. So
All I know is on Metacritic, the movie side of Metacritic, the Schneider cut, I believe at the time that I looked on the day of early screenings, had like a 54. Not amazing. There was one crazy guy who gave it a 100, and I don't know what the fuck he's smoking.
yeah, but do we really
Um,
go by fucking critics?
No, I don't always. I've gone on record as saying that I don't trust critic reviews as much as user reviews, but in some cases, like with this and with early screenings, I'm willing to bet based on the source material before this cut of it that a 54 is probably fucking accurate. I'd have to watch this movie for myself, which probably isn't going to happen because I don't have anything to connect. I'll wait until Red Letter Media does like a half in the bag and I can see some clips of it and get their opinions because I kind of respect their fucking opinions on stuff because I tend to agree with them. And then I'll see. But I'm willing to bet, I've said this before, probably on this podcast, that this is a 4-hour polishing of a turd. It's probably what this is going to be.
I'm excited.
But Rich is a Snyder apologist, so he's excited.
Rich, are you excited?
I'm excited.
Richie's taste
We
is
will
coming
see.
to question. He likes bad Schneider cut movies.
Bad tabletops.
Yeah, bad tabletops,
Bad room design.
bad room design. He's closeted.
He's a closet nerd. That's
I'm just-
gonna be the only thing in his adult room is just a poster of Zack Schneider. Not even anything with the movie. Just his face.
The Metacritic reviews on day one were not good, but the Rotten Tomatoes, I will admit, is 77% currently. Critic consensus. Not bad. Not fucking incredible, but better than the original. So, I don't know.
The only thing
Low bar.
I'm looking forward more to the Schneider cut is giving my Godzilla vs Kong.
Where Godzilla will win.
Except you won't.
He better.
Oh, well, neither of them are going to win, Rob.
Yeah, that's true.
I know.
No, they're both
They're
gonna
gonna fight
win
each
because
other
they're
to
gonna team
stand
up.
still.
Yeah. So fucking...
And
They're
then
gonna
Mechagodzilla's going to show up.
Yup, and the Megagodzilla's going to show. They got to punch the
I'm hoping to be pleasantly surprised with a twist, just because the other two Godzilla movies were good. So I like to think that their advertising is like targeted to make you feel like it's going to be bad, and then they twist us.
I don't think that it's. What is that? No one ever advertised the targeting to
Yeah.
make it look bad. Maybe this is some
Movie's gonna be
advanced
dog shit.
1,000 IQ shit where they're like, we'll lower their expectations and then we'll knock their socks.
We're gonna make them think it's a Batman versus Superman, but then it's not. You
No,
know, that's all I'm saying. Like, you know what?
To me,
I'm kind of hoping I'm pleasantly surprised. You know?
I think I know
This is a
exactly what I'm
blockbuster.
getting. I think I know the plot. I think I know the script.
Listen,
I
even
think
if
I'm still gonna
even
enjoy
if
it.
it is Batman versus Superman, but with monsters, I'm fine with that. I've already gone on record
I
saying I just
hear-
want to see monsters fight. Like, it's fine.
If I
Right,
hear
and that's
either
fine. It's-
Godzilla or King Kong say Martha, it's a 10 out of 10 for me.
That would actually
How do you know that name?
that would improve my review score of the movie if one of them looks at the camera and makes eye contact and goes, Martha.
How do you know that?
Godzilla signs it. Godzilla knows, or not Godzilla. King Kong knows sign language in this movie.
No.
His
no,
mom's
Godzilla.
name was
Godzilla.
Martha.
Just the idea of like King Kong and or Godzilla's mom be named Martha.
Yeah, both of them.
Martha Zilla.
Marthazilla, Queen Martha.
Mothra. No, God,
Oh no!
Mothra.
No.
Oh,
Oh no.
Just.
How do you know
King
that
Kong
name?
stepping on Godzilla's throat, and Godzilla's like Mothra.
How do you know that name? How do you know that name?
Oh my god! I hope this is in the movie. It's not going. Oh fuck!
It's gonna be the parody of the movie.
It's
How-
essentially going
how
to be the
funny-
exact same plot.
We
so-
can't be the first people to have thought about that. If that glorious joke is stuck on the shitty podcast, I'm gonna be so upset. Oh fuck!
Probably is.
Spread
And
this
no
far
one
and wide.
figured.
The two people who
Oh,
listen to
what's
this. That
next?
is gold. All right, next is Riot's Off the Hook.
I don't know what that means.
It's
Yeah, I
fucking-
read this is like I saw this news article get posted. I read through it the day it got posted and today, and I was like, all right.
It's,
Don't know if I believe it, but it's certainly new.
No wrongdoing of CEO.
Well, because they
Never
were
did
in
look-
trouble for the big old sexcapades, and board
Oh.
of directors are like, nah.
Well, you know.
Do you remember when there was the giant? Do you remember when there was the giant sexcapade, civil suit that went down?
Yeah, hostile
Right.
work environment.
Yeah.
and
So
stuff.
apparently one person specifically also said, "Hey, the CEO of Riot made like sexual advances towards me and essentially sexually harassed her." And apparently a board did a investigation, which is very interesting because they went through. I read the article. They had a third party conduct the investigation, then they reviewed the findings and came to a judgment on it. And the board was made up of I don't remember who the one person was, but two of the other people were from Tencent, who like owned
Oh,
Riot. And of course, they came out and they were like, "Yeah, he didn't do shit." And it's like, yeah, maybe he didn't do anything, but maybe he fucking did. I don't know, dude. Like, this is the kind of news story where I read it and I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like, big people and big corporations have gotten away with less. So I don't know if I trust it.
we have investigated ourselves and found no wrongdoing.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
That's
you know,
literally what it is.
subpar game, subpar decision.
That is
Yeah.
literally what it is. We went to a third party. We had a law firm do an investigation. Then we reviewed it. We won't show you that, but we'll just say that he didn't do anything
It's just it's the police with extra steps.
wrong. Precisely. It's
How's that-
possible he actually didn't do anything wrong, but I don't know.
Is the earnings report in yet? No. Okay, he didn't do anything. Get that stock price up, and then we could dump this trash fire. It's fine.
Oh, no, they're looking at Valorant numbers and they're like, God, this guy is incredible. We're selling so many overpriced gun skins.
So why
right now.
asked you if you wanted to see his dick? He's selling so many copies.
They come out with a new
Buying
skin.
so many Valorant Vandal skins and shit.
Come out with a new skin.
Leave 'em
that
in.
is just his dick.
I haven't played Valorant forever. Speaking of Valorant,
I haven't either. I've been watching people play Valorant recently, and I was like, yeah, maybe I would play this again.
they
But
had like didn't they add like 3 new people?
yes, I'm not clued into the meta whatsoever, but I would consider playing it someday. Anyway, he's not a diddler, but I'm of the opinion that he very well could be. It's unclear.
Dark Alliance.
Dark
I
Alliance.
thought I don't know. I don't know how to feel about it. I'm like mixed.
Well, okay, so here's the first thing: is I just think of it was Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, right? The PlayStation 2 one.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
game was fucking
So, yeah.
tight, and I saw
Yeah.
this title, and I was like, oh boy, and I saw it, and I was like, it's not that.
Yeah, like
But it looks
I saw
fine.
it. I was in the same boat. I'm like, Dark Alliance. Oh, and then I'm like, wait, what am I watching?
Also,
that being
can
said,
we,
again, I don't know how to
really
feel
quickly,
about it.
Can we really quickly just how much of a fucking clickbaity headline this goddamn is? Feels a bit like Gears of War, and then in the article it's like, because it's made for co-op. You know, Gears of War, the only other game made for co-op. It's like, get the fuck
Yeah.
out of here.
Yeah.
I know. I was so disappointed.
Like,
Welcome to this
Again, I don't know how to
D&D
feel,
game where you have
like-
chainsaw bayonets.
because like, it's clearly calling it Dark Alliance is just a way to get people to fucking get interested in it.
Well,
It's
it is a
not
setting.
Dark Alliance game.
At-
Well, yeah.
It is, you know, it's not
Well-
not the Diablo one that we're used to. It's this actiony RPG one, but it's set in the dark. Like, I can't fault them for using the name. It's set in that universe, but good lord, did I just want another one of the Dark Alliance?
And then
games.
they
In the
definitely
universe, though, like, we have confirmation of that, or are they just using the title? Because it's not called Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, because they can't do that.
no, it's called
Larian's making
it's called Dungeons and Dragons Dark Alliance.
right, exactly. So what I'm saying is, like, do
I
we
think
actually know if it's going to have any connection whatsoever to previous Dark Alliance games?
I
or
thought
are
I
they
read
just-
in the article that it was like it's the same setting.
I
Uh,
didn't read
I
the
don't
article.
know. All I know is that they're really looking to get those fucking Drist fans.
Oh yeah, holy mackerel!
Everyone loves Drizzt.
Everyone.
Drizzt Durden,
Durden.
Tyler Durden, the drought.
I remember back when you had to like beat the game to unlock him as a character.
I remember
Now
that
he's
as well.
a character.
I cheated as a child. Actually, I was like, "Fuck that! I'm not beating the game," and then I put in a cheat code. Small baby Brandon was bad at video games, so I did not beat Dark Climb.
I was the same, but I actually enjoyed the other classes.
I like.
I,
It was a good game.
I
cheat
did like
codes.
me some Barbarian in Dark Alliance 2.
I don't remember what I played. It was far too long ago.
I played with Rob. I made Rob play the rogue because I hated
No,
traps.
I remember that. You were just like, no, you have to play this. I was like, I don't want to.
I looked. I'm like, Rob, I hate traps. You're playing the rogue.
Nice.
Yeah, I remember that one. That's my.
And then
only-
I think I played the Necromancer.
And then you taking literally all the gold and spending it because you're like, no, fuck you, I want the gear.
No, we shared.
Nice.
No, you didn't.
Let's not misrepresent baby Rob and Richie. I did not take all. All right, maybe I took all the gold, but
I played Risk of Rain 2 with Richie. He took all that gold. Sure.
Oh,
He
Risk of
took all that
Rain.
fucking
I've
gold.
played Divinity Original Sin with both of them. I can also confirm.
no, I didn't take all the gold in that game. We split it.
You're a liar.
No,
That's bullshit.
Confess to your
you boys,
sins here on
you
the
boys are
podcast.
fast. That's all. I'm usually doing something, and it's just like I'm in a fight. Help! It's like what? What's happening?
That's some horseshit, and you know it. We split everything.
You're a lying piece of
Yes,
shit.
I carried the gold because I was the barter guy.
No, you
but
remember
Ah,
that was the
and he
whole
got-
joke.
I
Is you
didn't
were
get a
daddy.
piece of fucking
You
gear.
were daddy.
That's bullshit. You didn't get gear, but
I got gear after you bought everything you wanted. You were like, yes, we have like
but-
100 gold left. What would you like?
But moving on, because we're supposed to be speed running. I don't know.
You don't talk about how I used gold.
Is
Wait,
this-
hang on. One more thing.
Is this game gearing too much towards comedy, or like or not?
Seems very lighthearted.
Yeah, I gotta say the fact that it has like fucking hair metal blaring throughout like this fantasy, like that's just awesome.
You see, that's
Just
just. I mean, yeah,
awesome.
it's also just.
The Osbourne song, dude. Is that like
Yeah,
a
no, I dig the Ozzy.
newer Ozzy Osbourne song? 'Cause honestly,
it might be, 'cause I
He's
don't-
making
I don't
another
remember.
album. Have you heard about that?
well, he did a song with Post Malone, I think.
Oh,
Yeah, he did a
yeah,
Post
that he
Malone, and then he released a sober album, and now he's working on a second sober album.
Wow.
God bless him.
How is he how does he have enough
yeah.
life in a shambling corpse of a body?
Obviously, a pact with Satan.
Fucking lich.
Yeah.
All-
Known as-
Yeah.
He's a real life lich.
he really is, dude.
Don't you know fucking Ozzy's pickled from the inside?
I
His
think
phylactery is like whatever he used to keep his fucking.
When he ate the
Back
bat, he was infused with fucking vampirism or
no,
some
this
shit.
is just a thing with 80s rockers and like 70s and shit. Is that they did so many drugs they either overdosed and died or they're fucking immortal. Like I swear to God.
Yeah, if you live through the crucible, you emerge from the flames unkillable. That's Ozzy.
Because there's a lot of them like that. The fact that they're still like fucking rocking and they're just so ancient and it's just how.
Also, as I'm skimming this article,
Bitch.
planned day one, not day one, I don't think, but like planned DLC already. Games just got announced, and they already have the first DLC that apparently you get
welcome
in
to
the
video games, man.
Steelbook version.
The fucking way of the world now, dude.
This is a multiplayer
Remember
game. That
that,
means there's gonna be a battle pass. You're gonna get skins. You're gonna get emotes.
Oh, that's true. This will
Look-
probably be a service game.
Look forward to your dwarf flossing.
This is something. This is the fucking way of the world now, dude. This is
That's
something I bitched
unfortunately
about
true.
back when fucking Bloodlines 2 got announced, and I was like, "Oh, here's a fucking pre-order bonus already." I haven't even seen fucking gameplay, and they're like, "Here, if you pre-order the game, you'll get a coat and a fucking gun skin." And I'm like, I don't even know like what this game is yet, dude. Like, this is just the way this goes. Shit
All right,
gets announced.
granted.
it comes out as-
All right, so if it's you get access to this DLC and nothing, I guess we would have no way of knowing this, but like it's not done already, or there's like
I just can't wait. It's gonna be a
it's only
fantasy
a
setting.
concept, then okay, at least then you could be like, all right, well you get access to the DLC when we finish it. But like, I mean, this isn't
Kinda like
like
a
day
season
one
pass.
DLC, at least the way I'm reading it. Day one DLC is just literally like robbery.
I hope to God
Yeah.
it's not like fucking like you're this dwarf or like paladin and like this elf and then like Keanu Reeves joins your party.
Wake up, samurai.
a troll to burn. Shit.
What's the dick line? I can't remember. What does he say?
Nice cock or something.
Yeah, something
I
like
haven't
that.
even gotten to that point. in the game
Impressive
yet, and
cock.
I know that
Yeah,
he's-
there you go.
Remind me of me, except the good looks and impressive cock or something like that.
Oh boy.
Borderlands
Lots of-
movie.
Okay, we're moving on.
Well, aren't we speeding it? How's your beat?
I don't know. Might be fine. I have 20 minutes.
Okay, well we
Alright,
got to get through this. We got 20
20
minutes.
minutes. I'm good.
Borderlands movie.
I don't know shit about
I don't
this.
give a shit, but you guys probably do.
Shit either. Go ahead. Talk about it. I didn't even read the article. Go.
Yeah, me neither.
Inform me.
Borderlands movie. Honestly, I read through this and I was like, okay, cool, they're getting a Borderlands movie. Then I looked at the actors they're fucking getting, and I'm like, okay then.
Well,
Why?
don't leave us in suspense.
They got fucking Roland, one of the arguably
Kate
one of
Blanchett is going to be Lilith? Really?
What?
Kevin
What?
Hart is fucking Roland.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, this is
Why
gonna
is
be
Kate Hart
fucking
rolling and
clown
Kate Blanchett
shoes.
is Lilith.
Jack Black.
But Jamie Lee Curtis is Tannis?
Yeah. I looked at the fucking actor choices. I was like,
How does Gearbox have this money?
Jack Black.
Well, it's not-
Jack Black is going to be part of.
Hey.
No, Jack Black is Claptrap.
All right. We've
Yeah.
been over this, okay? They have a lot of fucking Colonial Marines money. All right? That's where this is coming from. There's a lot of it, okay?
I do like that Jack Black is going to be Claptrap. I will say that.
I do like Jack Black a lot.
I do think that role fits him
Is it gonna be
Very-
like
very nice.
Jack Trap or Clap Black? No, he
No,
can't be
no.
that one. Never mind.
Clap Black.
Shut up.
Black Trap. Yeah, it can't be Black Trap.
No, it can't be that either.
Oh, no.
Maybe,
Jack Trap.
maybe if it's
Jack
really
Trap.
progressive. you
Yeah, I
know.
guess Jack Trap. That's what we have. It can't
We
can't
got-
involve the word black.
No.
Oh, no.
Jack
no.
Trap. But Kevin Hart is Roland.
That's gotta. Are they gonna use trick photography, or is just Roland just gonna be really short?
I don't know, and I'm unhappy.
I want to know if Kevin Hart is literally going to just like shock us all and give us a serious performance.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, Kevin
don't-
Hart's first real dramatic performance in
shut-
the Borderlands movie.
Yeah,
I don't
shut your
know, dude.
mouths. There's no way that Kevin Hart and Jack Black are gonna be in the same movie and put on like some
Well,
Shakespearean
no, you know what I
shit.
mean by like not serious as in like the movie is serious, but serious as in like he's not going to play the guy he plays in every movie
Because
himself.
Roland was
not a
straight
fucking
laced. He was one of the very few characters that was
Yeah,
not like a
exactly.
fucking
That's why I'm
weirdo.
like, why the fuck would you put Kevin Hart in that position?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
If anything, get The Rock.
The Rock.
The Rock
Roland
is
would've been
Roland
great.
and Kevin Hart is someone else.
Kevin
But,
Hart could be Claptrap.
Kevin Hart would have been a funny claptrap.
Kate Blanchett as Lilith is so strange.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy though.
What's going on with that?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. Not that I hate Kate Blanchett. I think Kate Blanchett's cool, but like,
I like Kate Blanchett a lot.
yeah, she's cool, but like as Lilith, it's weird. It's kind of strange.
I mean, I think she could do it.
I think she can't do it. Like, obviously she can do it. I'm not talking about her acting skills, especially in a fucking Borderlands movie. She can definitely do it. They could have went with somebody far worse than Kate fucking Blanchett, but like, I just mean like, all right, fuck it. I'll just say it. She's a little bit older than I would have thought.
That's what makeup's for. Did you see her in Thor Ragnarok?
Digital
Dude, the makeup, you
de-aging.
could literally see the makeup on her, but like,
Yeah, but it's just weird, right? Like
Just
you would
digitally
think that's
de-age. It's
someone-
fine. It's fine.
It's just strange.
And they
Like,
got a deal. They were like, we'll put you in the movie.
I mean, it's not even
You're
it's not even a
underbidding.
joke. You watch like Thor Ragnarok on like 4K or some shit, you could literally just see the makeup caked on her. But
all right, I want the fucking prediction right here, right now. Okay, on this Camel Cast, right now. Is this movie bad,
Oh yeah.
schlocky good, or actually good?
No, there's no way it's gonna be actually good. Get the fuck out of here for even suggesting
I-
that.
I want
can't
a
see it.
prediction. I want predictions right
I think it will be schlocky good.
I think
I also think it'll be schlocky good.
I think it's gonna be literally Jumanji again, where it's like they're gonna be making video game references, and it's not even gonna be correct to the video game. Like it's just gonna be like fucked from like the top bottom, because the actors are not gonna know. No one's gonna direct it well. It's no way is it good. No way. Not even
I
schlocky
agree.
good.
Of those 3 options posed, it will not be good.
Here's a fourth option. This is what it's going to be: a train wreck. You're going to watch it and just be fascinating at like, how did this? Is Uwe Boll directing? Because that's the only way this is starting to make sense.
No, absolutely not. Yui Boll with Kate Blanchett in a movie? I highly doubt that. Who is directing this? Do we actually know that? We have to know that. They're fucking giving actors.
So far, the plot
They have
is
to announce that.
black and sticks to the setting of the game. At the very least.
Borderlands IMDb. Here we go. Its popularity is down,
Oh my
88.
god, it's Eli Roth?
What?
No. No way. The Bear Jew is directing Borderlands movie?
I'm sorry, the what?
The
Bear Jew. Wait, you don't know the Bear Jew?
No.
Alright, well Rob will have to educate himself on the Bear Jew. But the Bear Jew is directing the Borderlands movie.
Jesus Christ. I don't know.
That absolutely cements my prediction. Eli Roth, the Bear Jew, is directing Borderlands, which 100% lands this in the territory of schlock good. Like, it's not going to be good.
It's gonna
It's
be
gonna be
gory as fuck.
Yes.
For
it's going to be
sure.
schlock good, because that's what Eli Roth does. He makes, like, dog shit that generally has no place being as decent as it is, and then some people are like, it's all right. So that's probably what this is going to be.
It's gonna be cabin fever all over again. Pancakes. Wow. Okay, that was an emotional roller coaster.
It was.
It's gonna be.
Eli Roth, the director, was the moment where we took the plunge.
Yeah, that.
Started screaming.
Yeah, I went from. Now I'm starting to come over to schlocky good.
It's Eli Roth. With that casting, it's schlock good. It's not going to be a good movie. It's going to be the kind of movie you watch and you're like, wow, I can't believe this got made. It's shocking as decent as it is. It's not amazing and it's not going to win any fucking awards. But
what if it does?
You know.
Movie of the year.
I wonder if Kevin Hart is going to be on stilts.
I seriously, I wrap that like that twists my brain is like for Roland.
I don't understand it.
Kevin Hart, like, are they gonna? You know, what'd be great is if they like act like he's tall the entire. Like, whenever they look at him, like they look above where he is. You know, like they look to where the character model should be, and just no one really mentions that. Like, we got the worst possible guy.
What if he is Roland, but it's only in a flashback, and then it's just The Rock?
Give me the mountain for Brick.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be cool, actually.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
What's his name? Halfdior Bjornsson, right?
They already cast Krieg, which is some guy that I don't even know. He hasn't been in a lot of movies.
There's not a lot of characters that they've announced.
No.
Very few.
Krieg and Brick, though, are around the same size.
He's a big. They got a big man for Krieg, so.
They need an equally big man for
While you just mentioned the mountain in Game of Thrones, that could lead us into our next topic.
There we go.
What is our next
speed running? Just mentioning the freeLC for Total War. It's Rakarth the Beastlord, best possible thing. The reason why that's Game of Thrones related is because Ewan Roan, the guy who plays Ramsay Bolton, is voicing him.
Yep.
Oh. Neat.
It's true. It's kind of cool. It gave me more interest in Rakarth than I had before, I'll tell you what. That combined with his campaign mechanics, I was like, all right. Okay, you know what's fucked up? And I know Anthony doesn't want us to ramble about this for fucking 15 minutes, but I'm just going to say...
talk about Necromunda.
Isn't this like the last topic for today?
Necromunda.
I have to leave in 9 minutes. But like, here's the thing. Rakarth is really fucked up because he has better campaign mechanics than the lords you have to pay for. Have you noticed that? He's like more interesting to play than the lords you have to pay for. He doesn't have a dog shit meter that you have to manage like fucking Malice or like Hellebron.
Yeah,
He's just
they
does, like, fun stuff.
did you read the patch notes? They have patch notes out.
Yeah, they improved Hellebron's meter,
Yeah.
so but they didn't do shit to Malice.
No.
And even still, improving Hellebron's meter is not removing it. You know what I mean? It's still a dog shit mechanic that you have to manage. And Malice didn't get touched at all, so his still just sucks, like plain. And Rakarth is just fun. Rakarth is like, oh, dude, I win fights and then I get monsters and then I quote unquote tame them in essentially a raised dead mechanic where I just go, I have a fucking Carnosaur now as a dark elf.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking awesome. That's a really cool mechanic. And then he can just like he gets a certain amount of slaves and just gains Karan Kar like in a competition with Lokir for it. Like, it's such an interesting campaign that Malice and Hellebron, lords you have to pay to get, don't have. It's really fucked up.
Well, I mean, that's kind of the way that the game is, isn't it? Is they release new stuff and it's generally better than the old stuff.
Yeah, they
Yeah, usually, but it's just
Usually.
kind of, the Dark Elves I feel have gotten the shit end of the stick in my opinion. Where like Hellebron and Malice, I don't know why CA has done this, but every time they put out a new Dark Elf Legendary Lord, it comes with some bullshit mechanic that you have to manage. That's just not fun, or they're really plain and kind of vanilla like Lokir was before this, and I don't understand what's going on. It's like they want to make like Dark Elf campaigns, these weird challenge campaigns with these like shit mechanics that you have to like manage. It's really bad. And Rakarth has none of that. And that's awesome. He actually looks fun to play. It's a shocker. Like, I will enjoy playing him as opposed to like loading up a Malice campaign and wanting to rip my cock off.
Yeah, his like abilities too look really cool for what he is. Like the ability to like strip the fear and terror from monsters is kind of insane.
Really neat. I like that. I like how he has a built-in mechanic to essentially kind of like manage rage or rampage in monsters, which he will have access to.
Yeah, he gives the monsters in his army murderous prowess. That's kind of awesome.
Yeah, that's fucking sick. Like, he looks fun, and his start is bonkers.
The start is kind of cool. Though some people are like sad because it kind of rules out any type of like Albion faction, but we were never getting that.
We didn't really get fucking Albion in the first.
It
fucks Nakai hard.
Oh yeah.
Like, Nakai dies on like turn 3 of every campaign I ever play. Now, if you're playing as Rakarth, Nakai will do nothing. You will just kill him quickly, and then there will be no Nakai on the map ever.
The really cool thing, sort of more of multiplayer, but kind of also just him in general. He keeps his anti-large bonus on the dragon.
Yeah, I've seen that.
That's kind of crazy.
Yes,
he's a really potent fucking monster slayer.
And his armor. What do you say?
He is a cool.
Cool. That's Anthony's input.
Necromunda, come on.
Oh, you just want to talk about Necromunda.
I really badly want to talk about Necromunda.
All right, just real quick though, just one thing, last thing, real quick.
We really have to talk about it now, though. If we don't talk about
Rakarth was a pleasant surprise because now who knows what the fucking next DLC is going to be, because it could still be Dark Elves, who knows, probably not, but
hopefully not.
Maybe maybe Creative Assembly just say, yeah, I know we said this thing in the past, we don't care. Here's a Dwarves vs Vampire Counts DLC or some shit.
Oh yeah, and then Beastmen don't get shit, and everyone flips their tables and puts their foot to their fucking TV. Yeah, it's possible.
Or it's Dwarves vs Beastmen, or it's fucking, I don't know, Vampires vs Beastmen. It could be anything, but the options are open, and everyone is fucking like, no one knows what's going on anymore.
Cool.
All right, go.
Necromunda. Go to fucking Necromunda. Let's go, dude.
Necromunda hired gun, dude. So the guys who did and also Deathwing are making another 40k game where you play a bounty hunter in the Underhive. And the screenshots so far are awesome. If you ever played it's like fucking perfect for it. And if you ever played Deathwing, the reason that game is not great is because they basically translated the tabletop game, which is very strategic, into an FPS, which is horrible and a bad idea. But if they're stealing games, this is clearly influenced mostly by something like Dark Heresy, and that would translate great into a first-person shooter. And all the shit you can do in it's basically fucking a Dark Heresy game anyway. So holy shit, I'm super excited. There's rat grenades.
Yeah, there are rat grenades. I'm willing to bet that this game is just going to be like an improved version of what they did with with a
Yeah,
40K on it. That's
yeah,
what this is going to be. I don't know about Dark Heresy because like Necromunda is an established thing at this point. It has its own game, like its
that's
own
true too.
tabletop game and shit. So I don't know. I think it'll be. I think that's what's gonna be. These dudes made in the first place because they stole a bunch of shit from 40K straight up and had
Yeah.
obvious 40K influence in Like they really obviously liked 40K. There's enemies in that are clearly just like gene stealers and shit. Like they
Oh yeah.
obviously had. Yeah, they loved 40K even back then. Now they're directly working with Games Workshop to make games, and they've obviously improved pretty heavily from the days of making I think this game will just be what they wanted to do back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's going to be like an game, but they can actually do 40K now.
And I mean, if you play Deathwatch, their attention to detail in the backgrounds and armor and shit is nuts. And so just to see an Underhive done by them is going to be really cool. You can already make out some of the gangs in the screenshots if you know a bit about Necromunda. Uh, and just there's a fucking cyber mastiff that's fucking cool. It's apparently yours. Who knows how that will work out? They leaked. Same with all these screenshots. There's screenshots of your main character, your bounty hunter's armor, in a female version. So there may be character customization in this.
Pretty cool.
So a whole bunch of really fucking cool
Which,
shit.
if there's character customization, that lends to my theory that like this is just an with a 40K.
Yeah, because I had RPG elements.
Yeah. So, which is cool. I would like that if that's the case. So I'm excited about this. I hope it's not dog shit. Because like Deathwing.
It's gonna be jank.
Yeah,
I
Deathwing
is jank. Deathwing is
great.
jank. There's gonna be jank to it, but hopefully it's like where it's like, man, this is janky, but there's so much cool shit you can do, as opposed to
Yeah.
Deathwing, where it's like, man, this is janky, and I wish this was better. It's like,
Whatever. Hopefully it's good. I gotta go though.
well, that's
End
the
this
news.
fucking shit. Bring me round to the end
Podcast.
town.
Dude, say the line.
Fuck all of you. I hate you. I gotta go get my beef. I'm getting
Get
my
his
beef.
beef, his big Irish beef.
I hate all of you.
Thanks for listening in, guys.
BIB,
Fuck
big
you.
Irish beef.
Fuck you. Fuck